A different day, a different hero for the Tribe.
Buck charges one deep right field. Back is Bruce. Look it up. It is gone to Souvenir City.
Today, the Indians go for their sixth three-game sweep of the season against the in-state Reds as Carlos Carrasco tries to outduel Edinson Volquez next on Sports Time Ohio.
Rain in northeastern Ohio this morning is giving way to another beautiful day for baseball as the Tribe tries to sweep the Cincinnati Reds right on out of town. Hi again, everyone. I'm Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Tribe fans woke up this morning, cracked open the newspaper, and saw their beloved Indians 7 games up in the American League Central Division. They haven't had a 7-game lead since September of 2007 in the division. And, Rick, it's amazing. They find different ways to win each and every day, and they've had 2 different heroes already in this series.
It has been a remarkable year, especially at home. You know, on Friday night, they come in here, they get a game winner, a bunt, a drag bunt, something you rarely see. They held on to win. And then yesterday, Travis Buck steps up, the first time he's played in a couple of days, gets a 2-run home run. They end up holding on there. That was in the 7th inning. That wasn't in the 8th or the 9th. But anyway, Friday night, Ezekiel Carrera had that bunt. And then Travis Buck on Saturday, that was an awful lot of fun to watch.
The Indians already perfect this year at home, 7-0 in one-run games. So they're getting timely hitting, and they continue to pitch well. And you look for more of that today from Carlos Carrasco, who looked much better in his last start against Kansas City.
And our Chrysler 200 pitching matchup is going to be Edinson Volquez. If you get to him, you've got to get to him in the first inning. He has a high ERA there, and then he finally settles in. Carlos Carrasco, much better in his second start than he was in his first coming off the disabled list. His slider was much better. He's going to need that breaking ball and all of his pitches to control the Cincinnati left-handers.
So the Indians and Reds wrap things up this afternoon here at Progressive Field, and we're back with all the play-by-play action straight ahead on STO. Back here at Progressive Field, where the Indians will try to sweep the Cincinnati Reds here this afternoon. Nice crowd on hand as we get ready for today's first pitch. And Carlos Carrasco making the start for the Tribe. Let's look at the starting 9 for Cincinnati under manager Dusty Baker. It will be Drew Stubbs leading off, followed by Chris Heisey. Joey Votto hits third. Brandon Phillips in the cleanup spot. Jay Bruce bats fifth. Scott Rowland hitting sixth. Then it's Fred Lewis who will be the DH. Ramon Hernandez getting his first start in the series, and Paul Janisch, who started Friday night, back in there today.
Carlos Carrasco coming back, making his 8th start, his 3rd since coming off the DL, a record of 2-2, an ERA of 5.03. And his last start against the Royals, it was a win. 5 1/3 innings, 5 hits, a couple of runs. He struck out 5 and walked 2. He has never faced the Cincinnati Reds before, so all new look for him, and we'll see how he can handle. That's a pretty good hitting and a pretty good offense. Let's take a look at the Indians' defense, brought to you by Pat O'Brien Chevrolet, saluting the men and women defending our country and watching on the Armed Forces Network. It's Kearns in left, Brantley in center, Chewis in right, Hanahan at third, Asdrubal at short, Orlando at second. Santana gets the start at first today, and that means Lou Marson goes behind the plate.
Local product James Hoy calling the balls and strikes this afternoon. Manny Gonzalez at first. Phil Cuzzy at second. The crew chief, the acting crew chief, Bill Miller, is at third. Down low, ball one to Drew Stubbs. 1 for 8 in the series. 68 degrees, our game time temperature. Cloudy skies here in downtown Cleveland.
Yeah, but it has cleared up since this morning, hasn't it?
Yeah, it was a downpour at my house when we woke up today. The 1-1 to Stubbs. 2 balls and a strike. Indians with the best record in baseball at 28-15. Their lead in the American League Central Division is 7 games. Cincinnati, meanwhile, 25-21, a game and a half behind front-running St. Louis in the NL Central. Cincinnati equaling their season high with a 4-game losing streak coming into play today. The 3-1 from Carrasco is fouled off full count. Indians lead both Detroit and Kansas City, who are 22-23, and then Chicago 9 games off the pace. Fouled again by Stubbs. Minnesota, last place in the Central Division with a mark of 15-29, 13.5 games out. Now the 3-2 pitch. Smashed to short. Backhanded by Asdrubal Cabrera. Pulled his man off the bag, though, with the throw. And Stubbs aboard on the errant throw to start the game. Not many of those this year for Asdrubal Cabrera.
I figured everything was automatic. It would be right there. The first time I've seen him do this year. Went to the backhand, no problem. He gets it over there. And you'll see coming off the base is Santana. So it'll go as an error on Asdrubal. First time he's done it this year on a throw like that.
His son won't be very happy about that. Asdrubal had his son out on the field before the ball game today. The pitch, and in there for a strike.
Johnny Gomes getting the day off. He hit the number 2 hole the first 2 games of this series, and he has been struggling. So Chris Heisey moves up into that spot.
Little Asdrubal.
I'll tell you, that kid has a great swing.
Yeah, we watched him. Asdrubal was pitching to his son, and little guy was wrapping him through the infield. And he's not much more than, 2 feet tall maybe right now?
At the most.
No balls and 2 strikes to count on Heisey. 1 for 4 Friday, did not play yesterday. Down low.
Well, this has been a series where not a lot of either team has been able to hit with runners on base. There hasn't been a lot of people on base.
Carrasco ready with a 1-2. Runner takes off. Throw to first, down to second, and that'll take care of that.
All right. Well, the error is erased. He tried to time him. Did Stubbs, and he was just a split second too long. That's why pitchers will hold the ball occasionally a little longer so you don't fall into a pattern, but you should never get picked off by a right-handed pitcher if you're trying to steal a base. You got to make sure he goes home. It wasn't a trick move. He just went on the timing play, so okay, that error is erased.
A line drive to right field. Chu broke in, now backpedaling to grab it, 2 down. By the way, for those of you keeping score at home, that goes as a caught stealing. And the Indians have done a much better job. We talked about it early in the year. The base stealers really were having their way with the Indians, but it didn't really affect them because they didn't have many base runners to have to worry about. But here lately, with both Santana and Marson catching today, they've done a great job of throwing runners out at second base.
Well, Lou Marson led the league last year doing that, when he was catching. So he can throw if you give him an opportunity. And Santana's got a very good arm, too. So, it was just that's how they started the year out. It was a little strange.
Joey Votto 1 for 7 in the series. That ball's hit a ton. Deep left center field and gone. Joey Votto liftoff, his 6th home run of the year. Gives Cincinnati a 1-0 lead here in inning number 1.
Well, you talk about driving a ball to left center field. That ball was hammered. And I mean high and deep. That's almost like a right-handed hitter would have a tough time hitting it that far. He shows you the power. His 6th home run. And watch a ball out over the plate. Up. Elevated, and that's not coming back. That'll be a souvenir, and he knew it as soon as he hit it. Watch how far that goes.
Votto started the day 4th in the National League in batting average.
2nd home run given up by Carrasco.
They're telling us 431 feet the distance on that blast by Joey Votto, and as you said, taking it the other way, that's some serious power.
That's like a right-hander can barely hit it that far.
Brandon Phillips, just 1 for 7 in the series.
So that pickoff looms large, doesn't it, in the first?
Well, it's another reason why the Indians pitchers have done such a good job of not giving up the big crooked numbers. They haven't given up a 3-run homer or a slam.
Right.
So they've, that's how you limit the big inning.
Well, they've given up 29 home runs and 18 have been solo shots, which is fine. There's not a rally going on. You stay away from big innings. You don't walk people in front. So, that really has a big impact on why this pitching staff has been so good this year.
2-2 the count here for Brandon Phillips. Slice the other way, out of play. Phillips awaiting the 2-2 pitch and the 20th toss of the first inning from Carrasco. He checks it foul. And again, Carlos delivering the 2-2. In the dirt, Phillips wouldn't chase after that. And the count is full. The payoff pitch. High, ball 4. So a lengthy first inning will continue for Carlos Carrasco. Jay Bruce steps to the plate. Left-handed hitter has swung the bat well, going 3 for 6 in the series. He leads the Reds with 10 home runs.
Well, for Carlos, it's coming down to commanding the fastball. He has to command his fastball so he can get to his secondary pitches.
Line drive left field, and a diving catch made by Austin Kearns. He hangs on to end the inning. Nifty defensive work there by Kearns. 1-0 Cincinnati. Bottom of the first here in Cleveland, the Indians starting lineup presented by Progressive Insurance. Proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Michael Brantley will lead it off, followed by Asdrubal Cabrera and Shin-Soo Choo. Carlos Santana, Travis Buck, Orlando Cabrera in the middle. Then it's Austin Kearns, Jack Hanahan, and Lou Marson bats ninth.
Edinson Volquez on the mound for Cincinnati, 27-year-old right-hander. Is 3-1 on the year, a high ERA. Has given up 40 hits in his 48 1/3 innings, but 50 strikeouts. A good fastball changeup primarily. He will flip up an occasional curveball. 1-1 against the Indians in his career, and he has struggled in the first inning. He's given up at least one run in 6 of his 9 starts. And twice this year, he has given up back-to-back home runs to the first 2 hitters this year, which is a rarity.
Well, he's had 2 really bad starts when you look at it. He had a game against Pittsburgh in which he gave up 6 runs in 5 2/3 innings. And his first start of the year, he gave up 5 to Milwaukee in 6 innings of work.
And that's when he gave up the back-to-back, both those games. But, you know, as we watched and witnessed, a lot of times that starter, if he can settle in, then he settles down. But the first time through, Volquez, hitters are hitting 345, but the second time it's under 100, so he really settles in and gets a feel for that fastball changeup.
The 1-1 to Brantley now is outside, 2 balls and a strike.
You know, because most of the time when he's pitched, he's been behind in every game. But the Reds have been able to come back because they've got a very good offense. It's the first time he's gone out and he's had a lead in his starts this year.
The 2-2. Chopper off the plate. Rowland tried to barehand it. I don't think he would have had a chance anyway. Brantley beats it out for an infield single. Even if he comes up with it clean, I think Michael had it beat.
Well, you're probably right. That's the only chance he would have had is to barehand it. And, you know, and that's pressure. Especially when you hit it off the plate, there's spin on the baseball. There's the curveball now. He just spins one up there, and it's got spin on it, so it's awfully tough to catch that ball and throw it in one motion. So Michael will get credited with an infield single. You see head down, you sniff that hit. Boy, you get down the line as a hitter. So the leadoff man aboard.
And Asdrubal Cabrera coming to the plate. Asdrubal 1 out of 7 in the series. And that fastball sails high. By the way, you mentioned that game against Milwaukee that he gave up the back-to-back homers.
Yeah.
Interesting note and a hint of irony. Ricky Weeks and Carlos Gomez, the back-to-back homers to start the game for Milwaukee, became the first 2 batters to lead off their team's season with consecutive homers. As Cabrera drives one pretty well, deep center field, stubs his back, he's out of room, it's out of here! Asdrubal Cabrera with a 2-run homer in the first, puts the Tribe on top 2-1.
Well, this home run replay is going to be brought to you by Great Clips. Great needs, great deeds, great clips. And what we were talking about is that long ball in the first inning, and here it comes. Looked like it might have been, I'm not sure if that was a fastball or changeup away, but Cabrera gets it, the extension, and he's hit some big first inning home runs this year, and there's a 2-runner. And back come the Indians and take a 2-1 lead. For Asdrubal, that's home run number 8.
Cabrera leads the Indians in homers. And now Shin-Soo Choo with a drive. Deep left center field. Stay up. Off the fence. Hit her right in the middle of the out-of-town scoreboard. And Choo into second base with a double. 3 straight hits to open the game. And once again, the first inning struggles for Edinson Volquez.
Boy, it's amazing how that happens, but Choo starting to get that stroke. He's starting to warm up in the batter's box, and he's using the left part of the field, left center. Hit a triple the other night off that way. Now gets a double. He's on a 9-game hitting streak.
He's starting to heat up just in the nick of time. And here is Carlos Santana.
Another guy that's starting to warm up with the weather.
Breaking ball in for a strike. Travis Buck's home run yesterday gave the Indians the lead. They went on to win. Their first home run today puts them on top after they fell behind 1-0. The 0-1. And Santana fouls it back. 0-2 the count. Volquez sets, checks the runner. Long pause. And the pitch in the dirt. Good block there by Ramon Hernandez. By the way, I was about to say before Cabrera launched that home run that the irony of Volquez giving up the home runs back-to-back to start the season in Milwaukee. The last time it happened was when Cincinnati did it. Pete Rose and Bobby Tolan in 1969 led off the season with back-to-back homers against Don Drysdale.
No kidding.
And he didn't give up too many home runs, I don't imagine.
I bet the third guy got hit in that sequence.
Santana rolls over on it, hits it to
right.
second base, but he gets Choo to third, and that's the first out of the inning. Here's our great clip of the game, brought to you by Great Clips. And that was a great cut by Travis Buck. Manny Acta told him before the at-bat, hey, go up there and get a pitch you can drive. Don't try to just feel for the ball. Don't hit the pitcher's pitch and just slap it the other way. Travis said afterwards, man, he lit a fire under me, and I went up to that plate, and the first pitch he saw, he got the fastball inside part of the plate, and boy, did he ever hammer it.
Well, they've got the infield back on the right side and in on the left. So with Choo at that third, they're going to concede the run. Anything hit to second or first.
In the dirt.
Boy, and keep your eye because that changeup will bounce in the dirt. He has 3 wild pitches this year, and no telling how many blocks the catchers have.
Well, the Indians have been slow starters in the first 2 games of this series. In the first 5 innings, in games 1 and 2, they were a combined 1 for 30 at the plate. But already 3 for their first 4 here in inning number 1 today. It's an interesting alignment. I don't recall ever seeing an infield come in on one side and play back on the other. But Buck, does have a propensity to try and slap the ball the other way. It's outside, 3-0. Orlando Cabrera waiting on deck.
Well, I mean, here, first inning, I'd give him the green light here and look for the fastball. And take everything else if you can drive a ball and get that guy in from third.
Called a strike.
All the way.
95 miles an hour. And the fastball did look like it was outside part of the plate.
It wasn't a good pitch to hit.
And now the count is full. Chu at third with 1 out here in the first. Indians on top 2-1. And a 3-2 pitch to Buck. Checked, it was outside, ball 4. Indians at the corners with 1 out now for Orlando Cabrera.
Let's take a look at the Home Depot Cincinnati Reds defensive lineup today. In the outfield, it's Heisey in left, Stubbs in center, Bruce is in right. Roland at third, Giannis at short, Phillips is at second, Votto at first. Hernandez gets the start today. More savings, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Now that infield go back and sit for the double play ball.
Orlando Cabrera 1 for 7 in the series. That 1 hit was a double. Inside corner, a called strike. Orlando looks down to third base coach Steve Smith now, steps back in. Lob toss to first. Boy, those clouds that were here right at the outset of the game sure disappeared in a hurry. Bright, brilliant sunshine now here at the ballpark. Volquez ready with the 0-1. Chop foul, third base side. Still only 1 out here in inning number 1. Orlando, though, down on the count 0-2 with Austin Kearns to follow. Buck takes off for second base. The throw through. It's too high, but Buck, they didn't tag him there. Now they throw home, and the throw goes down the left field line. Chu will score. Buck around second, on his way to third. He can walk home. How do you like them apples? A 2-run throwing error by Ramon Hernandez. It's a 4-run first inning for the Tribe.
Well, trying to steal a run here in that situation in a 1-2 count or an 0-2 count, and they end up stealing 2. Because Buck did the exact thing you have to do. You don't let the guy tag you. So he started back, and as Phillips went to tag him, in comes Chu from third. He stops and then goes back. That's the one thing. You can't let the man tag you. He missed him, and there's the umpire right on the call. And then Hernandez throwing back behind, trying to get Chu into left field, allows 2 runs to score. Unbelievable. It is now 4-1.
And the 1-2 to Cabrera knocked him back. That evens the count.
You know, the umpire is right on it. He was staring right through it. He saw daylight. Now there's the bad throw because I think Chu would have got back anyway. Tried to get a little extra on it. Overthrows Roland at third base.
Now Cabrera with a poke to center. Back goes Stubbs. He's there. 2 down.
Well, I don't know how that's going to be scored.
Well, they credit Buck with a stolen base. Even though he was breaking back towards first.
Well, they never touched him, but he never got to second base till after the bad throw.
Yeah, I don't know. They may review that, but the error allows both runs to score.
Okay, so there is an error. That was really a strange play.
Yes, it was. It all adds up to a 4-run first for the Indians. Base is empty for Austin Kearns. In for a called strike.
So the first inning struggles continue for Volquez. Some of it his fault. The last part of it was not.
The other thing I was going to ask you too, when the runners take off like that, was Chris Heisey maybe a little too late getting over into a backup position at third?
He might have been. I mean, I wasn't watching. I was watching the infield. I didn't see what he did because what I thought Phillips should have tagged the runner and then came home. Chu ended up stopping. You know, but I do credit Travis Buck because that's what you're supposed to do is stop and not let the guy tag you. But I don't know why Chu stopped. And I think that threw everything off base. Phillips came home with the ball and then Chu went back. And I think he would have been safe anyway, even if it was a good throw from Hernandez. Just a really weird play. How often do you see that? First and third trying to steal a run. Sure, you see the run score, but you don't see both of them score.
You don't see many throws go down the left field line, but Cincinnati's seen it twice in the last week. They were at home against Chicago, and Kerry Wood picked up a ball and tried to throw the runner out at third, and he threw it all the way down into the left field line, and I think 2 runs scored on that play.
Cincinnati was the beneficiary of
right.
that one. That's the difference.
They like that one. This one, not so much.
That's true.
Now the 2-2. In the dirt, full count. Edinson Volquez must be wondering what is it about the first inning that has become his personal twilight zone this year. He came in with an ERA of 17 in the first inning this year. His ERA after the first inning on the season, 2.97. He's trailed in every one of his 9 starts after the first inning. And it's low, ball 4.
Yeah, second straight walk.
Let's go back and look at what that crazy play one last time. And I ask you because you're the outfielder, and Chris Heisey
just missed him, boy. That
left fielder
was right on that call. Let's see. I don't see him even in the shot. You know what happened? He might have went to second base to back up on the throw, coming over that way. So he was nowhere to be found on the third base line because you expect that guy to take off. So he was running in towards second base, I think, to back up in case anything happened there
with that rundown.
Because they saw Buck going back to first, so he was going to come into that part of the play, which is good hustle.
See Brandon Phillips and Paul Janisch at second base right now talking that play over too. And I think you're right. If Phillips had it to do over, he'd probably just
go ahead and tag him and
Buck.
then go home.
Yeah,
he had him dead. I mean, he couldn't have missed him, but by 2 inches, 3 inches. But I give the umpire credit. He was right on that call.
Jack Hanahan, the 8th Cleveland Indian to bat here in the first. And it's up high, ball 1. 31 pitches for Volquez here in the first.
Now, Volquez now as many balls as he has thrown strikes. 16 balls, 16 strikes.
The 2-0 pitch. I remember there was a year C.C. Sabathia, his first inning was a mess every time out. And I think he tried 6 different ways of warming up, thinking that was the problem. You know, it was maybe the pregame routine to try and get himself ready for inning number 1.
Well, once it gets in your head, it's there. You know, you go out there and you can try whatever you want, but until you toe the rubber and have a 1-2-3 inning and get it back. Because the Reds scored for him in the top half of the first on the Votto home run. That would have been such a big inning for him if he could have brought him right back in.
And the 3-1 pitch is low, ball 4. So the Indians have batted around here in the very first inning. And Volquez has now walked 3 here in the very first frame. Dusty Baker has seen this all before, and so has his pitching coach Brian Price, which may be the reason you haven't seen a visit to the mound yet. This is just par for the course where Volquez is concerned. Lou Marson comes in hitting .278. Bouncing ball to first. Votto goes himself, and the inning is over. But the Indians send 9 men to the plate, and they now lead it 4-1 after 1 here in Cleveland. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by McDonald's. What's sweet and tart, cool and refreshing? McDonald's McCafe Frozen Strawberry Lemonade. By your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. And by AT&T. There's a strike call to Scott Rowland to start inning number 2 here at Progressive Field. Rowland, Fred Lewis, and Ramon Hernandez for the Reds here in inning 2. Rowland just 1 for 8 in the series. Liner to second, right at Orlando Cabrera, 1 away. Let's check in with Katie Witham right now, who has the latest on Indians pitcher Alex White and that injured finger on his pitching hand.
Yeah, Matt, I spoke with Indians head athletic trainer Lonnie Soloff earlier. He said for Alex White, it's at least 8 to 12 weeks. It's a right long finger sprain, which, if you remember, it's the same similar injury to Adam Miller, but it's different in the fact that where White sprained it, it's the ligament that actually connects to the bone. He won't even pick up a baseball, guys, for at least 3 to 4 weeks.
Well, that's
not good news.
That's a shame because
not good news.
He was throwing the ball very well. And right up until that point, he was throwing the ball well the other night. But, well, we wish him certainly the best in a speedy recovery.
Just feel bad for
Well,
Alex
that's
because
2 to 3 months. So
this is your dream to get to the big
I
leagues.
know. You never know if you'll see him again when you're talking that time. You know, in all reality of it, certainly hope so.
Just missed inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fred Lewis fouls it back. Bouncing ball to second. Orlando Cabrera takes care of that. 2 away. Ramon Hernandez stepping to the plate now. His throwing error opening the door for the Tribe to add on 2 big runs in the first inning.
Yeah, we tracked that, and we see the Indians scored 4 in that first inning. When they score 3 or more runs in a ball game,
in an inning,
in an inning, 3 or more in an inning, they're 19-3 this year. And we told you how good their pitching has been, keeping guys away from scoring 3 runs in an inning. When they give up at least 3 in an inning, they're 3-8. So that's big, especially in the early part of the game, because you figure your offense is going to add on after that.
The 0-1 pitch. Well, that's pretty significant. A 3-run inning or more, and you're 19-3?
Yeah. That's right. And that's why it's so huge for the pitching staff. You don't give up 3-run homers or grand slams and let teams come back.
Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Because we talk about it being the year of the pitcher or whatever, but things are, starting to filter down where pitching is dominating now. And runs are at a premium. So if you can afford it and get that big inning, it bodes well, especially at home, because they've played so well this year in this ballpark. What'd you say, 7-0 in 1-run games here?
Yeah. 1-2 is outside. Tim Kirchin, who writes for ESPN, did a great job writing a story about the year of the pitcher, which was 1968. And just so anybody doesn't get too carried away with what's happening now, the numbers from 1968 are just staggering. That's fouled back into the crowd. When you talk about what happened in that year, I mean, Bob Gibson had a 1.12 ERA for the whole year.
And Louis Tiant was really good, too, wasn't he?
He led the American League in ERA, and yet Denny McLain won 31 games that year.
And after that, what'd they do?
They lowered the mound over a foot.
Well, 5 inches, wasn't it? It was 15 or 16 inches, and they went down to 10?
Yeah.
15 to 10.
Probably felt like they lowered it over a foot, though, for you hitters.
Well, those guys looked 10 feet tall when they were 6'5" or 6'6". You had 15 inches up there. They could get some leverage throwing downhill and keep that ball down in the zone. That's what made it so tough.
3-2 pitch. Hernandez with a high fly ball. Shin-Soo Choo is there in right field, fighting the sun a little bit. He makes the grab. And the Reds go 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the second. It's 4-1 Cleveland.
Kids' fun day. And she is all dolled up for her day at the ballpark. Got the pink ribbon in her hair, got her movie star sunglasses.
Absolutely. That's nice. Sunglasses out. That's nice to see.
Turned out to be another beautiful day. What a great weekend we've had here for this Showdown of Ohio, Part 1.
Yeah, round 1 is right.
We'll go down to Cincinnati in June to finish up the series. Brantley gets it past the mound.
How about that?
Behind the back flip, not in time. Michael Brantley with a drag bunt single.
Boy, oh boy, I love it. That was beautiful. You see, all you have to do, I mean, and it's tough to do, is get it past the pitcher. And Michael had enough speed on it. As you see Volquez, he's falling off that way, but it's bunted hard enough. That is a perfect drag bunt by Michael Brantley. Nicely done. Boy, I love to see that.
Second infield hit of the ballgame for Michael. And the Indians get their leadoff man aboard again.
Second drag bunt we've seen in the series. One of them won the game. That one leads off an inning.
As Dribble Cabrera launched a homer to center field his first time up. Yesterday we had just enough of a breeze blowing in that any ball that was hit in the air high got knocked down. Travis Buck, though, hit his home run yesterday on more of a line drive homer, and that was really key in helping that ball to get out of here. Today, though, we don't have much of a breeze, but it's warm, and we can tell early the ball is carrying.
Boy, there's a little two-seam fastball away, but it was elevated. Gets it just up over the line. That was beautiful. That was where Buck's was over in right center. His was a little more to center field. And boy, that put a spark into the offense, didn't it?
That's up high, 2-0.
Boy, you keep this guy in the stretch. I mean, since Michael Brantley, the first 2 innings, he's been on base. He's had to go out of the stretch and remain in it all inning long.
Back with the dive is Brantley. Has 5 steals on the year.
Well, right now, I'd leave that hole for him early in the count between first and second. Votto holding on Michael Brantley. I got to look and try and get a time of Volquez to home plate.
Fouled right back.
He's pretty quick to home plate. So he's not going to be an easy guy to steal off of. So stay put. Plus he's a little wild anyway. Throwing a lot of pitches. It's 20 balls, 20 strikes in his 40 pitches to this point. So no need to take off.
He does. Swing and a miss to throw. And Michael Brantley is in there safe. With his 6th stolen base of the year.
He picked the right pitch. It was a slow curveball on a 2-1 count to Cabrera. It was a good pitch to throw to the hitter, but it was not a good pitch for that base runner. You see Hernandez coming up and having to throw, and it's a tough pitch to throw on. So Brantley gets the stolen base.
Runner in scoring position now for Cabrera, and the 2-2 pitch is lined into right field, a base hit. Brantley broke back towards second because he wasn't 100% sure that ball was going to get over the head of Brandon Phillips.
Well, that's what you do. You freeze on line drives, and that's exactly what Cabrera hit. A line drive. Brantley had to make sure it gets over the head of Phillips. It does. You move to third base, and the Indians have a chance to build on this inning. He went down and hit a pretty good pitch right there. Boy, and pulled it into right field. That ball was down and out away from the plate. So back come the Indians with runners at the corners and nobody out.
Chu takes a strike. He doubled off the wall in left center in his first at bat.
Starting to use that curveball a little more, Matt. That's really his third pitch, but he doesn't, to me, have a feel for that changeup yet where he's been able to, throw it consistently. So he's going to that breaking ball more.
Chu with a base hit into right field. That scores Brantley. Cabrera around second. He's going to try for third. Bruce has a great arm. The throw, though, offline. Indians at the corner, still nobody out. Chu with RBI number 21. And it's a 5-1 Indians lead. 3 straight hits to open the second.
Good aggressive base running by Cabrera. And this is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. He gets a fastball up in the zone, able to turn on and hit it in the hole. And when you have a lead, you can be aggressive and try and make this guy make a perfect throw. Cabrera does that. You see Bruce charging, and he's got to get everything on it. It's offline. He slides in safely. And they're at first and third again, and it's a 5-1 ball game. That's the big difference when you have opportunities going first to third, second to home. That's what you call it, good base running.
Activity in the Cincinnati Reds bullpen. 45th pitch already for Volquez. It's outside for ball 1 to Carlos Santana. How do you like that, Rick? 6 for 6 out of your top 3 hitters.
I like that a lot.
Wow.
3 ribbies and 4 runs scored. And a chance to add to those numbers.
Strike is called. 1-1 the count. High 2-1, and Edinson Volquez is just literally all over the place. As you see, right-hander Sam LeCure warming for Cincy. Carlos Santana awaiting the 2-1 pitch. In the dirt. And another good stop by Hernandez. He's made a number of those today.
Yeah, Volquez just has not been able to command his pitches today, and he's fallen behind in the count, and the Indians have been waiting. He's walked 3, given up 6 hits, and another good hitters count right here, 3-1. Zone in.
Three-one delivery. And it just did catch the outside corner. Full count.
Now Carlos asking him right now. He's asking James Hoy, you sure that ball seemed to be away off the plate? Yeah, might be right.
That's that old unhittable perfect pitch.
Yeah. Well, and it's tough to tell with that angle there, too.
Swung on and missed. Santana strikes out. That's the first K for Volquez, and that's the first out here in the second. Take a look at our trivia question today, courtesy of our friends at AT&T. 3 managers have led both the Indians and the Reds. Volquez deals. Travis Buck skies it. Shallow center. Backpedaling is Giannis, calling for it. And he makes the catch, 2 down. So 2 chances to get that run home from third, and the Indians don't get it done. That'll leave it up to Orlando Cabrera, who flied out to center his first time up. Orlando does not like the call there. It's a first pitch strike, though, for Volquez. Slow breaking ball got him way out in front. 0-2 the count. With 2 down and Indians at the corners here in the second inning.
Well, they will definitely go out and put the sign on now in this situation, first and third, for the double steal and an 0-2 count. Because this is where it happened the last time.
2-strike pitch. Got him. So Volquez works out of further trouble, but the Indians tack on a run, lead it 5-1 after 2. Back here, top of the third, want to remind you to stay tuned later in the game to see our Miller Taste Greatness moment. Indians jumping out early, leading it 5-1. Paul Janisch, the number 9 hitter, will lead off for Cincinnati here in the third. Fly ball to center. Brantley makes the catch, one away. Let's send it down to Katie with him once again. She's out in the right field seating area.
Hey, Matt, I am. I'm hanging out with Next Gen Baseball Team. They're out here with a little team bonding, a little team celebration trip. But we want to remind you that prorated season tickets are still available. Log on to Indians.com. You can get some great seats, see the pricing plans, and get out here and enjoy some games with us. Guys, we'll send it back over to you for now.
All right, thanks, Katie. Drew Stubbs reached on an error. His first time up, takes a strike. I guess coming to a Indians ball game sure beats taking the whole team to Dairy Queen after the game for a little treat. By a little. Just a little bit. 1-1 pitch. And it's low and away, 2 balls and a strike. Fouled back. Two from Carrasco. Again, fouled away. by Drew Stubbs.
Send along some birthday wishes. Frank Mayer from Vermilion turning 93 today. Gertrude Pousset of Tiffin is 91. And also Wilma Isafano is 91 today. Happy birthday to each and every one.
Boy, Drew Stubbs, he can hit some foul balls. One after another after another. That count remains 2-2. This one's finally put in play. And a tough Sunfield. Look out. Orlando Cabrera at the last moment picks it up and makes the grab.
Looked like he had it, he lost it, and he picked it back up.
Yeah, and I don't think Carlos Santana could locate it either.
I mean, look at, there goes the glove. He comes back. I got it. I picked it back up. There you go. That's staying with it. That's what you call battling and staying with it. Never give up on it.
Carlos Santana had his sunglasses up on his hat. He just now put them over his eyes. You see that a lot. Guys forget sometimes that the sunglasses are up there on top of their brim of their hat. Chris Heisey lined out to right field his first time up. And he takes a strike. Happy belated birthday wishes to Ed Zagantz, celebrating his 62nd birthday yesterday down in Westerville, Ohio. And happy birthday wishes going out to Laura Pitlick today, celebrating her 51st. And also happy birthday wishes to Sophia Salvo.
Well, I've got more. Are you done or you got
I'm
more?
done. That's it.
Okay. Bertha Bumbrow of Akron is turning 82, and Ralph Nutter from Mount Dora, Florida, 66 today. Happy birthday to each and every one.
Mount Dora, Florida. Strike three called. Heisey out looking. First K for Carrasco. We go to the bottom of the third. 5-1 Cleveland. Sweep that other Ohio team. Well, that's what the Tribe is aiming to do here today. They lead 5-1, bottom of the third, bottom third of their order due up. Austin Kearns walked in the first, and he waves at an off-speed pitch, and that's the pitch that has got Volquez back on track here.
Yes, it has. It certainly has, that breaking ball.
Hit him. Well, it had him back on track for one pitch anyway.
Well, you know, when you only have that one pitch that you can primarily command, he's really had a tough time spotting that fastball. And everything revolves off that, especially when you're a fastball changeup primarily. and you can't locate it. He's trying to throw that little two-seamer in. He hits the Kearns. So he's really battling out there. The Indians have had that leadoff man aboard every inning. Brantley led off the first and second. He was on board, and now Kearns is on. So right back into the stretch.
Jack Hanahan, he also walked in the first, and he looks at a ball down low.
Well, you can see he's frustrated out there, grabbing the baseball when Hernandez throws it back. It is really a struggle today for him. This is where you want to continue to add on if you can get one every inning and just.
Well, foul tip, 1-1. The 1-1 to Hanahan is down low.
You know, that's the problem in the first two games, although the Indians won the games, is that they had problems getting their leadoff man aboard. They were 1 for 15 with a walk. And you remember it was Chu's Saturday night that hit that triple he ended up scoring. Ended up being the winning run. Well, they've had him on 3 times today.
60th pitch of the day for Volquez already. And he missed inside. 3-1.
Yeah, and we're in the third inning. And
He's
nobody's out. It's actually 2 innings, and he's got 60 pitches.
He's just got that body language of,
yeah.
Oh, boy, I can't do it today. Just doesn't have it.
Well, you've got to, still try and battle to find it to take a little pressure off. The road trip gets no easier for Philadelphia.
Oh.
I mean, for Cincinnati. They leave here and go to Philly for 4 after this game. And then after that 4 in Philly, they go down to Atlanta for 3. So this could be a long trip. They're on a 4-game losing streak, and Dusty Baker knows it. He was looking for a good start from his pitcher today.
He sure was. I mean, he was really relying on Volquez to help them end this 4-game losing streak. Runner goes, and it's fouled by Hanahan.
Well, 3-2 count. You got a 4-run lead. You're starting the runner, and Manny Acta feels that Jack Hanahan will put the ball in play.
Throw to first, and Kearns back standing. Runner goes, 3-2 up high, ball 4. So he hit Kearns. He's walked Hanahan, and the Indians have their first 2 aboard.
Well, Dusty's got to make a move, I would think.
Well, they had their first 3 on in the first. Their first 3 reached in the second. And now their first 2 on so far here to start the third.
After that pitch, he took his hat off and started scratching his head. He's thinking, boy, oh boy, this is tough.
And the dirt gets away from Hernandez. The runners both move up. So a wild pitch has Austin Kearns at third and Jack Hanahan at second base.
That's his 4th of the year, a wild pitch. So that takes the double play away, and it's the breaking ball that goes down, and it deflects off Hernandez. You see, he gets down to get in front, but it deflected, never hit the leather, got off his arm.
Reds bring the infield in, as you see there. Lou Marson, the batter, grounded out to first base his first time up. Reds down 4 here in the third. Indians looking to just add to the lead. The 1-0 pitch. Little tapper foul. You mentioned how things don't get any easier for Cincinnati. They go to Philadelphia for a 4-game series. They lost their last 4 games head-to-head with Philadelphia last year and then got swept by the Phillies in the postseason. So they lost 7 straight overall to Philadelphia, and a lot of people think it's a mental block. They just can't beat Philly.
Well, it's a different year, but, it's not going to get any easier. Let's put it that way, and that's just how baseball is.
The 1-1. Down low, 2 balls and a strike, and then they go to Atlanta, where the Braves have been playing better, 26 and 22. Atlanta starting the day 3.5 off the pace in the NL East, currently in 3rd behind Florida and the front-running Phillies. Now the 2-1. Marson taking low, 3 balls and a strike.
Well, Dusty's up off his seat. It's just a matter of time now.
Not only for him, but also those fielders. Everybody's got their hands on their hips. They're walking around in circles.
That's not a good sign.
The 3-1. There's a strike, full count.
Already his 5th full count here, Matt, and it's the 3rd inning.
This next pitch will be number 69. And the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. 3rd strikeout for Volquez. 1 down here in the 3rd inning. Take a look at our minor league report brought to you by Kia. Chad Huffman last night in an 11-8 win over the Bulls went 3 for 3 with a double, a triple, a homer, and drove in 5. Now the Indians lead at 5-1, but they let an opportunity get away in the 2nd inning with that runner at 3rd. Another chance here. Michael Brantley is 2 for 2. 2 infield hits. A chopper off the plate in the 1st and the drag bunt single in the 2nd. He has scored 2 runs already. That's low, 2-0. Well, he had to come from behind to retire Lou Marson.
Tough way to pitch, though. Having to come back and make excellent pitches in hitters' counts. Especially when you don't have command of your pitches to begin with.
The 2-0. That is a strike. And the one thing we know about Brantley, he's going to make you work for it.
Yes, he is.
Generally does not just go out of his way to help the pitcher out. Infield in, cut of the grass around the horn. Outfield normal depth, playing Brantley straight up. 2nd and 3rd with 1 out, 2-1 pitch. Fisted foul the other way. Kern's the runner at 3rd, Hanahan at 2nd. And a 2-2 count for Michael Brantley. Volquez delivers. And it's fouled away.
Yeah, he digs this one out and it goes right off his foot.
Volquez wants to go through the signs again with Ramon Hernandez before he delivers his 75th pitch of the day. Sam LeCure is still warming in the Cincinnati bullpen. Got to believe he's ready if needed here. And Volquez may be teetering one more hit.
Oh, yeah. If anybody else should reach, he's long gone. It's 74 pitches now.
Trying to knock him out. 2-2 pitch to Brantley. Line drive center field coming on Stubbs. Will make the catch. Tagging at third and coming home is Austin Kearns. And he scores standing. Tribe now leads it 6-1. So Brantley gets that run home from third. It's his 21st RBI on the year.
Good at bat. Good job. So that's his third at bat in the first 3 innings. And they're able to add on. And that's what I'm saying. You can just keep adding on. He hit Kearns. The walk moves him to the scoring position. And they add on again.
As Drupal Cabrera, already a big day. He homered in the first, his team leading 8th dinger of the year. And then he singled in the second, so he's 2 for 2. And a base hit into right field. Coming around third, Jack Hanahan will be waved home. Bruce kicks it in the outfield. Hanahan scores easily. 7-1 Tribe. As Drupal Cabrera, 3 for 3 on the day. And his second RBI knocks Edinson Volquez out of the game.
I'll tell you what, this guy is having some kind of a year. And, the top 3 hitters in this lineup have just dominated Edinson Volquez. There's a breaking ball, and he stayed back on it nicely and just laces it into right field. Give him his 3rd RBI in the game, his 3rd hit. And it is now a 7-1 game, and he is heading to the showers.
So the call to the bullpen by Dusty Baker and the Reds is brought to you by Verizon 4G LTE. Rule the air on the most advanced 4G network in the world. Well, your first Tribe game has been a dandy so far because the Indians are pummeling the Reds to this point, leading it by a score of 7-1 as Drupal Cabrera with a pair of RBI knocks, a 2-run homer in the first, and an RBI single here in the third. And those top 3 Indians hitters have really done a lot of damage as Sam LeCure comes on for Cincinnati. He'll be facing Shin-Soo Choo, who has already singled, doubled, scored, and driven in a run himself.
Well, and now if you're Sam LeCure, you want to just go out there and try and put zeros on the board as long as you can, because the Tribe came out hard early and they haven't let up. 7 runs in the first 3 innings. Top 3 guys in this lineup have dominated today.
Shin-Soo Choo looks at a first pitch strike from Sam LeCure. Runner goes. Cabrera takes off and no throw. As Dribble with stolen base number 6. I don't know if it just Hernandez didn't come up with it clean to get a good grip, or if as Dribble, who blew out another belt, just had
we got to keep track
lead.
of that. We got to keep track of belts this year. Mike, put that in the computer. We got a log. That's number 2.
At least.
He's going to have, you know what he's going to have to do? Keep one in his back pocket during the games. You know how guys put their shin guard on when they hit? He's got to keep his belt in a back pocket when he runs the bases. Tony Amato's going to have a bill on his seat.
He's going to roll up a belt and put it in a plastic baggie and say, here, put this in your back pocket. Now the 1-1 pitch to Chu. The outing for Edinson Volquez is the shortest of the season at 2 2/3 innings. Shortest of his career came last year in August in a game against San Francisco when he lasted just 2/3 of an inning. It's up to Sam LeCure for Cincinnati now. 2-1 pitch to Chu. And that's off the mark. 3-1 to count. Volquez will have to watch the rest of this one with his teammates in the dugout or perhaps in the clubhouse. Wide of the mark, ball 4. It's the 5th walk for the Indians already here today. Well, it has not been a happy homecoming from Jim Leland back in Pittsburgh with his Detroit Tigers. Al Pulaski has the latest on that series.
Man, you're absolutely right. The Tigers now have lost 5 in a row, but today they're on the board first. Casper Wells with the base hit to right field. Our old friend Victor Martinez coming around third. Slowly, but he's able to make it home. 1-0 Detroit, 3rd inning in Pittsburgh. Back to you, Matt.
Okay, thanks, Al. Carlos Santana's had a tough day, 0 for 2, a ground out and a strikeout. Takes a strike. 0 for 6 for Carlos in the series. As you see, Chu, part of that triumvirate at the top of the order for the Indians, who have been perfect on the day.
Wow, that's a pretty nice stat right there. And there's still a long way to go.
Little tapper up the first baseline. And
got
it's a
him.
fair ball, so that will end the inning. But the Tribe gets 2 more. And after 3, they lead it 7-1. It's a 7-1 Indians lead as we move To inning number 4. Joey Votto, Brandon Phillips, Jay Bruce due up for Cincinnati. Carlos Carrasco staked to a lead of a half dozen runs in his 51st pitch of the day. Is in there for a strike. That's his 9th first pitch strike. Out of 12 batters, that's pretty good. Very good.
Well, that was his goal. He wanted to come out. He wanted to, be aggressive in the strike zone, he said when he talked to Katie earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Go deeper into the ball game. But, you give up the home run, which he did to Votto in the first inning, and then your offense comes back and gets you 4. That'll let you relax a little bit.
The 1-1. His slider's an important pitch, but that's the one he said that has really come back for him, that curveball.
Well, I mean, when you're facing left-handed hitters, if you just have the fastball slider mix and, the secondary pitches are not going to be there, you're going to need everything to get in there. This guy's still learning. He's learning on the fly, and you'll go out there and he'll have a great game, and he may have a little hiccup every now and then. He goes out and turns it over to the bullpen a lot. There's some work.
Did he go? He did. He's gone. Second strikeout for Carlos Carrasco.
Yeah, and you get ahead of the hitter, and you get to expand the strike zone. Now there's the curveball again, and that's a good hitter. Chasing it because he is down in the count. He thought he might have held up, did not.
It's a good point, though, about Carrasco, Rick. And it's worth talking about that young pitchers develop at different stages. Some guys are fast learners. Some guys it takes a little longer. I mentioned last night with Josh Tomlin that he's a guy who never had a blazing fastball. So he's always had to work on his secondary pitchers. And he's maybe a little more polished at this point because of who he is as a pitcher. Whereas Carlos Carrasco, he probably blew people away for a long time.
Right.
He didn't have to work on his secondary pitches as much.
That's. I think you got it right on, because with Tomlin out there, he's throwing 3 to 4 pitches every start for strikes and different locations. Carrasco is just learning how to do some of that with his third best pitch, or with his his fourth best pitch. And he said something very interesting in his last interview, where he says, even though I can't throw this pitch, my fourth best pitch, I got to show it to a hitter early just to put it into his mind that he may use it again. And Carrasco's learning. His secondary pitches, we see a lot from young pitchers where, they can't throw their secondary pitches for strikes, and it gets them in trouble. And when they get into hitters' counts, they have to go with one pitch, and that's their bread and butter, that fastball.
The 1-2. And Phillips looked like a defensive swing just to get a piece there. 1-2. This will be pitch number 60 for Carlos. One out here in the fourth.
It's fun watching these kids, and we have a young rotation, including Masterson, including everybody basically that's in there other than Carmona, because he's been here a while. But you see them talking to each other and picking their brains and see what they do, and they can add it to their program. They're all different, but then Tim Belcher gets a hold of them, and they talk to them, and it's fun watching them grow up and learning from start to start. And that's all part of the process to become a major league pitcher.
Well, think back to when CC Sabathia was already becoming a top-flight pitcher.
Look at
and how many
together.
times he would throw fastball after fastball after fastball, and it would be fouled off. Hitters would stay alive. They'd have those long at-bats, and then eventually, when you develop those secondary pitches, then you're able to put guys away.
CC never became a quality starter until he would throw his changeup at any time. Now he goes out there and he doesn't care. He'll throw anything at any time. Takes a while.
You noticed on the bench there, Mitch Talbot sitting with the crew. He's ready to come off the DL. He'll make.
Well, perfect timing, isn't it? Now that Alex White goes on.
I think it would be Wednesday against Boston. He'd be ready to make his
You're probably
start.
right. Look at the starters. They sit together. They talk about it, and it's fun to watch.
2-2 pitch to Brandon Phillips. Liner to third, caught by Hanahan. 2 down. No, Josh Tomlin was terrific yesterday.
He's been terrific. That slow curveball to the guy that is geared up for it. A 3-1 changeup to Votto, a good hitter that he gets him to roll over on. And he locks you up with a fastball because his breaking stuff is so good, and he can throw it at any time. He did it yesterday when he was behind in the count, and the hitters have never faced him before. Now this may change as the year goes on and teams get to know him. We'll see, but you got to love the way the kid has pitched so far. It's been great.
The 1-0 delivery swung on and missed. Checked.
Nope.
Low did not go. 2-1. St. Louis, Kansas City underway. They're in the second inning at Kauffman Stadium in KC. No score.
A couple of shutouts in the first two games of that series. Kansas City winning one, St. Louis winning the second.
The 3-1 pitch. Hit well. Deep center field. Brantley looking up, and it's gone. Jay Bruce with his 11th home run on the year. Makes it a 7-2 ball game. And a pair of solo home runs allowed by Carlos Carrasco here today. Just the second and third homers he's given up on the season. With his 11th home run, Jay Bruce just one behind Ryan Braun in Milwaukee for the league lead.
Well, he tried to go in with the fastball, but you got to go in. You see, that's where Tomlin was trying to do yesterday, but when he missed inside on the plate. That one, Carrasco misses on the plate, and Bruce took advantage of it, hit it a long way. That's all right, solo home run. You give it up, that's because you're being aggressive trying to get the out. Votto hit the 2-0 pitch for the home run, and Bruce hit the 3-1 pitch for the home run. So those both hitters counts.
Fastball line to left, base hit, extra bags for Scott Rowland. He's in the second base with a 2-out double. And the fourth inning continues for Carrasco.
Scott Rowland hit a fastball there. You know, he had some shoulder issues, and he's been having a tough time turning on the baseball. You see him, his first out he made was the second base on a line out. But if that shoulder gets healthy and he's able to turn, that's a different hitter right there. He's a tough guy, has been for a long time.
Scott Rowland closing in on 500 doubles in his career. That was number 490. Fred Lewis, a ground out to second base, his first time up. Slowly tapped. Santana with the long flip to Carrasco, who covers to end the inning. Jay Bruce with a solo blast gets the Reds another run, but we go to the bottom of the fourth. Tribe on top 7-2. Back here at Progressive Field, where the Indians lead it by a score of 7-2 over the Cincinnati Reds. Brutus Buckeye hanging around. Yesterday we had the OSU Alumni Day here at Progressive Field.
I think that's Murph in the costume right there. Or at least his head's that big today.
Travis Buck, yesterday's hero, leads off the home half of the fourth and turns away from a fastball for ball one. Folks from all over Ohio in attendance for this showdown between the Cleveland Indians and the Cincinnati Reds. Nice visit in the booth from the guys from Delphus, Ohio here. Of course, St. John's High School in Delphus seem like they're featured on STO every year when it comes to the state finals in football. Pitch outside, 2-1 to count. Travis Buck walked and scored in the first. Popped up on the infield in the second inning. There's a long drive deep down the right side, but he hooked it foul.
Yes, he did. Just a hair out in front. Right down into his wheelhouse. He knew it. There's the hitter looking at it saying, oh boy, it had the distance, but it's foul.
Buck is out looking. Fourth strikeout for Cincinnati pitchers here today, one down in the fourth inning.
Well, you don't want to miss the Indians Music Festival presented by Discount Drug Mart. It's starring Brad Paisley, Blake Shelton, and Jared Neiman. That'll take place Saturday, June 11th, right here at Progressive Field. And for a limited time, get $30 seats for only $20. That's 10 bands. Tickets on sale now at Indians.com.
Orlando Cabrera 0 for 2. Takes a strike.
Orlando, yeah, I heard you talk about 500 doubles for Roland at third. Orlando just 10 hits away from 2,000.
Yeah.
Which is a nice milestone. I'd like to see him. Let me see. We got, what, 3 more games? 3 games with Boston. Be tough to get, but be nice if he could get it here.
His 450th career double for Cabrera came yesterday in the 7th inning. Actually came right after Buck hit the 2-run homer to give the Indians the lead. 2-1 pitch. A little bit low. There's a long fly ball left field. Back goes Heisey. Onto the track. 2 down. If you log on to STOHD.com right now, you can check out one of our preferred partners, Garfield 12323. They've served Northeast Ohio for over 75 years with award-winning siding, windows, and roofing. For a free estimate, log on to STOHD.com and click on the Garfield 12323 banner. Two down for Austin Kearns. He has walked. He's also been hit by a pitch and scored a run. No balls and 2 strikes. LeCure, delivers and gets the strikeout, his second. Indians go 1-2-3 for the first time today. After 4, 7-2 Cleveland.
United, proud to fly the Cleveland Indians. By your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers, it's time to join the Hyundai movement. And by Panini's, get overstuffed at any one of 18 locations in Northeast Ohio. Just a beautiful day here in downtown Cleveland. 7-2, Tribe on top. Trying to finish off a 3-game sweep of the Cincinnati Reds. Ramon Hernandez flied to right his first time up. Cincinnati, their offensive numbers to this point, 3 for 15. 2 of those 3 hits, solo homers. Reached for it, taps it right back to the hill. Easy out for Carrasco, 1 down. Let's go back to the studios, check in with Al Pulaski. He has the latest on the White Sox and their battle against the Dodgers.
And Matt, a big first inning for Chicago. A couple of home runs. The first one here by Ramirez. He goes to left field for a 2-run shot, his 6th of the year. And then A.J. Pierzynski also in the first inning, his 2nd of the year. That's a solo shot. 3-0 Chicago leads the Dodgers, 2nd inning at U.S. Cellular Field. Back to you, Matt.
Alexei Ramirez taking him deep. He's been hitting second.
Fouled third base side by Paul Janisch. 0 for 1 today. The 1-1. Bouncer to second. Easy play for Orlando Cabrera. 2 quick outs here in the 5th for Carrasco.
Well, enjoy time at the ballpark with your family any day or night with the KeyBank Grand Slam 4-pack. Includes 4 tickets, food, 4 Indians caps, and parking. Everything you need in one easy, affordable package. Visit Indians.com or call 216-420-HITS to purchase your tickets.
Speaking of the White Sox and the Dodgers, I just read where Casey Blake will be coming off the DL very soon. He had an infection in his left elbow.
What was it, like a staph infection?
That's what I didn't have all the details in the story I read, but it's been a tough year for him because he had a back problem early coming out of spring training. When he has played, he swung the bat well for Los Angeles, but the Dodgers have just been. Giannis strikes out, or excuse me, Stubbs strikes out, and the Reds go 1-2-3. Carlos Carrasco breezes through the 5th.
7-2, Tribe on top, bottom of the 5th inning. Jack Hanahan, Lou Marson, Michael Brantley due up for Cleveland. Big crowds Friday and Saturday nights. Well, Friday night and Saturday late afternoon. Treated to dramatic games here at the ballpark. Indians winning in their last at bat Friday and their second to last at bat yesterday. Today, a different story. Indians jumping out to the early lead. And they're up 7-2 here.
You know, that started earlier in the year when they were winning. They were getting the early lead and they were holding on to it. Boy, the last 3 weeks or so, it's been late innings. Especially at this ballpark. They had 6 straight last at bat wins before yesterday, which was the 7th inning. Less dramatic. But anytime you can win late in the ball game, very big.
Out of play. Remains 1-2 for Hanahan.
An opportunity for them today now, Matt, for their 6th season sweep?
Yeah, they only had 4 all of last
sweeps.
year.
Yeah, 4 all last year. Their 6th, 3-game sweep.
Tommy had to clarify that because they beat Seattle in that one game. The other 2 were rained out, so he's saying that doesn't count.
No, that just
not
the
a
one
sweep.
game. Well, it is for the one game, but they have 2 to make up.
Now the 1-2. Struck him out. Game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. How's this for a game recap? The Indians' top 3 hitters are 7 for 7 with 5 runs batted in. As Drupal Cabrera's 2-run homer in the first, and then the throwing error right here coming up by Ramon Hernandez. And the Indians scored their other 2 runs in the game. That has been the story. Find out about more than 30 Toyota offers available now at buyatoyota.com. Lou Marson 0 for 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Now the 2-strike offering. A liner to short, caught by Giannis, 2 down. Michael Brantley with a chopper off the plate in the first inning.
Boy, those are
and
nice.
And then a great drag bunt in the second.
That really was. A couple infield hits, and then guess what? He's going to go sac fly in his 3rd at-bat. You know, Michael, it doesn't matter where you put him, 1st, 7th, it doesn't matter. He does his job.
The top 3 went 5 for 21 in the first 2 games, but they did score 3 runs and drove in a pair. Today, this top 3 have grabbed hold of this game from the outset. Brantley with a long drive deep right and just foul.
Second one today that the Indians have hit down into the corner. Another high. I think that was a fastball.
And a strike is called. 2-2. LeCure, a long look in, and now time called. Boston comes to town tomorrow. Red Sox began the day just a half game back of the Yankees and Rays for the top spot in the. So suddenly they're all bunched together because right behind Boston is Toronto. John Farrell's crew, a game over 500 and just a game and a half out of first. They've won 8 of their last 10 heading into play today. Tampa Bay all over Florida early 4-0. Toronto trailing Houston 3-2 in the 6th. Big bouncer to first. Votto the flip. And the Indians go 1-2-3. We go to the 6th, 7-2 Indians. Stop by any Cleveland area Subway restaurant to pick up your Wahoo Bucks $5 discount coupons for the Subway Extreme Fan Zone. It's the place to be for a chance to win Subway gift cards, Indians fun money, and you'll get great discounts on your next Subway purchase. Subway, where winners eat. Chris Heisey leading off the 6th inning for Cincinnati. Fouls a right back. Heisey 0 for 2, lined out to right field in the first, called out on strikes to end the 3rd. Smashes that fair just inside the line. And into second base with a leadoff double is Chris Heisey.
Well, that's their 4th hit today, and all 4 hits have been extra base hits off Carrasco. 2 doubles, 2 home runs. This one laced, and it stays right inside the line at third. Looked like a little changeup. And he's able to turn on it, speeds his bat up. That was middle of the plate, so he took advantage of it. So the leadoff double for Heisey, his 3rd. And also, that was their first hit with less than 2 outs.
One 1-0 pitch. Down low. Scoreboard update brought to you by your Northern Ohio Ford dealers and the all-new 2012 Ford Focus. Ford. Drive one. Joey Votto homered in the first, struck out in the 4th. And Carrasco, 2-0 pitch fouled away. Time called by Marson. And now they're going to just get together and talk it over.
Well, they did throw the 2-0 changeup to Votto, so get them on the same page. And he's looking up at that scoreboard, and this is usually the inning where Carrasco has this year. He's usually been about a 5, maybe a little bit longer than a 5-inning pitcher, not much.
The 2-1. Roped down the right field line. That's going to bring home Heisey. And Cincinnati sticking around in this one. It's now a 7-3 ball game. Back-to-back doubles for the Reds to open the 6th.
Well, let's take a look at the Time Warner Cable pitch tracker, and you're going to see another elevated pitch. He has left balls upstairs. Those good hitters, they tell you, hey, they're not good pitches. Another one middle of the plate, another extra base hit.
Indians bullpen just about to spring into action.
It's time to get them going. It's a 7-3 ball game.
Votto is at second base now, and Brandon Phillips, who lined out to third his last time up, steps in. And Brandon Phillips in the cleanup spot for Cincinnati. Hit 30 home runs back in 07, the most ever by a Reds second baseman. Fouled away. What's interesting about that is when he came up with Cleveland, he had 6 home runs in 03 and a little over 100 games played. And the Indians just felt he got too homer happy and was trying to pull everything.
Young hitter. I mean, a young guy. You have to work with him.
1-1 pitch.
And he's hitting in a homer-friendly park down there. That ballpark down in Cincinnati, that's why
yeah.
Granted, they have some guys with legitimate power. I don't mean to say that, but that ball flies out of that ballpark. That's usually one of the friendliest parks in all of baseball to hit homers in. Durbin gets up and gets loose.
The 1-2 pitch. It gets away from Marson. Down to third goes Votto.
Little wild pitch here as he gets that ball into the dirt. Lou went over with the backhand to try and stop it instead of maybe moving his body over a little bit and trying to get in and smother it with the guy on second base.
Two count here for Brandon Phillips. That's going to get the run home as Dribble Cabrera will throw out Phillips barely. Santana had to make a long stretch to grab it. Phillips gets his 27th RBI, and the Reds get a run closer. 2 home here in the 6th, and it's a 7-4 Indians lead.
Well, that wild pitch gives them another run. Cabrera throws it over there and gets Phillips, but he gets the run home.
Ground ball routine to second baseman Orlando Cabrera. Throws out Jay Bruce, 2 away. Let's get the answer to our AT&T trivia question today. 3 managers have piloted both the Indians and the Cincinnati Reds.
I could think of Johnny McNamara. That was about it. Jimmy Dykes and Bertie Tebbets.
There you go. Big Scott Rowland doubled his last time up in the fourth. 2 for 10 in the series. Line to left. Kearns is there. Makes the grab. And the inning is over. Cincinnati puts 2 on the board. And we'll go to the bottom of the 6th. 7-4 Indians. Seven 4 Indians on top, bottom of the 6th inning. Carlos Carrasco gave up a pair in the top half of the frame. As Drupal Cabrera will lead off for the Indians here. Sam LeCure has done exactly what you ask a relief pitcher to do when you're already behind by a bunch early. He's put zeros on the board in the last 2 frames. Plus, he got out of the 3rd without allowing any further damage.
Well, and he's done exactly what he's had to do. 0-0. Go out there. Cincinnati's starting to scrape their way back.
On the outside corner, a called strike. As Drubal's 2-run homer in the 1st gave the Indians the lead. And then he singled in the 2nd and drove in a run with another base hit in the 3rd. A little bit low. 3-1. There's another high fly ball deep to right. Jay Bruce is back on the track at the wall. It's gone. As Drupal Cabrera, a perfect 4 for 4 on the day. His 2nd homer of the afternoon. 9th dinger of the season. 8-4 Cleveland.
Well, I'll tell you what, this kid has learned now that when he has the count in his favor, he really takes a shot at it. A 3-1 pitch. And he stays back and gets a fastball to his liking. And look at that, high and deep. What an afternoon for Asdrubal. 2 homers, 2 singles, 4 ribbies. Makes it an 8-4 ball game.
Third time already this year Cabrera has had a 4 RBI game.
He has been, I'm telling you, offense and defense has been outstanding.
Shin-Soo Choo has doubled, singled, scored a run, driven in a run, and he's also walked.
And you know, that's you look at it and he's leading the inning off, but after Cincinnati's just got 2 runs in the top half of the inning to maybe give them a little bit of momentum. Back come the Indians, and Cabrera puts that one quick one on the board, takes the momentum away, and puts it right back in the Indians' favor.
Well, as Dribble Cabrera, like so many other things that are happening this year, things you haven't seen before, as Dribble Cabrera's first career 2 home run game. The 2-2. Ground ball to third. Rolling. Fires it over, 1 away. Our Miller Taste Greatness moment. July 1999. A memorable moment in this showdown of Ohio between the Indians and the Reds. Omar Vizquel. A walked-off home run for Little O.
Time for the beating. Look at that.
Santana looks at the ball low and away, 2-0. There's a drive deep down the right side, but way out in front of it. And it's 2-1. Call to strike. And he's out looking. And Santana knew it. He strikes out for the second time today. 2 down here in the inning. And Travis Buck coming to the plate. We go back to the studios for an in-game update with Al.
All right, Matt, let's check in with the battle for Missouri Cardinals, Royals, and Alan Craig with a 2-run home run here. The second baseman's third of the year. Put St. Louis up 3-0. KC got a run in the bottom of the third. It's now 3-1, 4th inning at Kauffman Stadium. Back to you, Matt.
All right, thanks, Al. In the dirt. Two balls and 1 strike. Try to get him with that backdoor breaking ball. But he misses, and the count is now 3-1. Buck walked and scored in the first. He has popped up, struck out since then. Played a key role in that Indians' 4-run first inning. Not only did he walk, but he did a great job base running to get himself into a mini rundown. But what it did is it started a chain of events that led to a 2-run throwing error by Ramon Hernandez.
Yeah, that's coming back way back in the first inning to give him a big 4-run inning.
And a one-hopper backhanded by Phillips from the outfield grass throws him out. As Dribble Cabrera with his first career 2-home run game as the Tribe on top 8-4.
On top of the Cincinnati Reds right now. It is the top of the 7th inning. And you know what? Boston Red Sox come to town tomorrow. They're here through Wednesday. You want to make sure to go online and get your tickets for those games. And nowhere's better to sit than the Time Warner Cable bleachers. Bleacher seats are only $10. That's my sister helping me out here tonight. Log on to theindians.com. Get your bleacher seats and come on out here and see us. Guys, back over to you for now.
All right, thanks, Katie. And it's a fair ball down the right field line. Fred Lewis on his way to second. And he'll go in there standing with a leadoff double.
Another double. That's 4 now, and every hit has been an extra base hit. I was a little surprised to see Carrasco out there here in the 7th inning.
That's going to be it. Maniac is going to make the move. So the day is over for Carlos Carrasco after 6 innings plus 1 batter. He leaves with an 8-4 lead. We'll be right back. 8-4, Indians lead it. And here at Progressive Field, they go to the bullpen. Chad Durbin, first man into the fire. 17th time this year, 2 up, 1 down, 5.09 ERA. He has struck out 14, walked 7 in 17 and 2/3 innings of work.
Yeah, and recently in his last, I'd say 10 days or so that Chad has been out there, he's been able to, that cutter has come back for him, which is a pitch that he relies on. So he's had a nice blend of pitches, and that cutter is back. So nobody out in the 7th, but the leadoff double by Lewis. Every base hit today by Cincinnati has been an extra base hit. I told you, 4 doubles, 2 homers.
Ramon Hernandez 0 for 2. He is flied to right, and he is grounded back to the pitcher. Two balls, no strikes. Durbin misses low and away, 3-0. Paul Janisch waits on deck. Durbin has allowed just 1 run in his last 8 innings of work. Popped back out of play, full count. What's more important, coming into this situation, only 1 of his 14 inherited runners have come around to score. Breaking ball, punched foul.
Yeah, that's a big stat where a manager, you know, when you can go to the bullpen and trust a guy when you have runners on base to keep it where it's at. Some guys have a hard time doing that. But Chad being the veteran and coming out of the bullpen a number of times, he knows what it's like. He doesn't want to give up anything. Those guys take a lot of pride in that.
Goes right at him. Backhanded by Cabrera, but he can't come up with a clean. And Hernandez aboard.
Well, it's a play Asdrubal should have made. And, you know, he looks down at the ground, but that's the backhand. He runs on it, and he was just coming in. It did take a little jump up and hit him in the heel. But he makes that 9 times out of 10. That'll be another error, his second error of the afternoon.
Janisch, a swing and a miss.
That's good.
He's 0 for 2. He's flied to center and grounded to second.
Janisch, a swing and a miss. That'll tongue tie you.
Yeah. No balls and 2 strikes. The right-hander fires, and Janisch keeps it alive with a foul right back. That's in the dirt. Chad Durbin was a late sign. He didn't ink until March 1st. Left-hander Rafi Perez loosening. Chris Antonetti told Chad Durbin when they first met with him, look, you can sign elsewhere. There may be other opportunities for you. But this is going to be a good team this year. I don't know that he envisioned it would be this good. But Chad Durbin said that definitely had an impact on him, that Antonetti felt so strongly about where the Indians were headed. And, of course, Chad was here before, earlier in his career.
Right. Well, the opportunity, presented itself. And they also wanted him because he was a veteran in a mostly younger bullpen. As Tim Belcher told us in spring training, puts a calming influence.
Into right center. Chu is there. He'll make the catch, and the runners have to hold. They won't play with that fire. One away for Drew Stubbs. Hey, tonight at 9, tune in to STO for Jimmy Hanlon and the Golf Zone. He'll wrap up the weekend's golf tournaments. Take your calls and emails about your game. It's the Golf Zone with Jimmy tonight at 9 right here on STO. Drew Stubbs 0 for 3 today. One ball, one strike. Stubbs 1 out of 11 in the series. No, Rick, it's no surprise that the Reds, who have lost 4 straight, are just 4 for their last 36 with runners in scoring position.
Well, I mean, it comes in spells. And, you hate to see your down spells. You want a timely hit every now and then. And that's a big hitter right there for Chad Durbin and the Indians.
Strikes him out, 2 down. And it will bring up Chris Heisey.
There's that little cutter. 89 miles per hour. You see the good movement on it. Goes down a little bit. Gets the swing and a miss.
When you fall into a losing streak, you can't seem to buy a hit in the clutch.
Well, that's true. And then the momentum, and when you're going well, it seems like, okay, here goes a base hit. Anytime you get one, it happens to be a big hit. The cycles and the ups and downs of baseball, and every team goes through them over the course of the year.
Heisey doubled and scored in the 6th. Chase that one. 0-2. This crowd trying to help Chad Durbin finish off the 7th inning. He inherited one man on base when he came in. And then the error by Cabrera allowed Hernandez to reach. So 2 on, nobody out. He gets Giannis to pop up to shallow right, strikes out Stubbs. And now he has Heisey down the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Struck him out. Durbin finishes the 7th strong. 8-4 Cleveland. Time now for the Cleveland Clinic 7th inning stretch. Indians fans, time to get up and let's move it. Well, fans, don't forget to get overstuffed at Panini's 18 locations in Northeast Ohio. Visit paninisgrill.com for a location near you. Great weekend for the Indians here at home in this showdown of Ohio. And a great turnout by the fans, both young and old, all weekend long. Tribe winning 5-4 on Friday night in front of 31,622. And then last night, or yesterday late afternoon, whatever you want to call it, 2-1 winner in front of a sold-out crowd. Jordan Smith coming on now for Cincinnati. Fans are starting to buy into this team.
They better. They should. Looking for their 6th sweep of the year already. 3-game variety. They do have a 1-2-game sweep at Kansas City. But, I mean, here, they've just been an exciting, fun team to watch. You know, I mean, you tune in. I know they're tuning in, but once the weather gets a little nicer, the kids get a chance to get out of school, you got to come watch this ball club in this park. It is a lot of fun.
The set by Jordan Smith, and the 0-1 pitch is swung on and missed. But as Mark Shapiro has pointed out, you know, we can't let our unrealistic expectations get in the way of things. I mean, this isn't the 90s. Economically,
right.
You can't expect this place to be sold out every night as much as we'd all love to see it. And yesterday was a shot in the arm. I mean, even the players, and usually players are sort of numb to the surroundings and the environment, but even the Indians players were talking about afterwards how pumped up the crowd made them feel. Josh Tomlin said, hey, man, I don't think I've ever pitched in front of a bigger crowd than that before. And so that certainly tells you the impact that the fans have on the players on the field.
Well, they're starting to feel it. I mean, even the people that are here and, you know, whatever numbers in the crowd, they get into it.
Yeah. Kern sends a drive to deep right field. Jay Bruce running out of room. It's off the wall, gets by him. Austin's into second. He's going to turn and burn for 3. And he will go in standing with a 1-out triple.
Well, I like that sign right there for Austin Kearns. Right center field, and I mean, that ball had some carry to it. Kearns will get his first triple of the year. And he just kept right on going as that ball ricochets past Bruce in right field. A breaking ball. I think he thought he hit it. I think he thought he hit a homer. You see him taking off, and by the time that ball ricochets past Bruce in right field, he is still able to get to third base standing. So the Indians with a chance to add their 9th run today.
People who may have forgotten early in his career, Austin Kearns was a 5-tool player. He could do it all. Jack Hanahan drives home Kearns with a base hit down into the right field corner. 9-4 Indians. Hanahan on his way to second with an RBI double. That's his 5th two-bagger of the year, his 17th RBI.
Well, the bottom part of that lineup is saying, hey, wait a minute, we want to have a little fun in this game too. So that's the second runs that Austin Kearns has scored. Hanahan scored one. He's walked twice, and now he's doubled as well as a strikeout, but hits a liner that stays inside the bag. Infield's in. There's a good look at it. And it goes down into the corner. So their 5th extra base hit for the Indians. They tack it on. It's a 9-4 lead. Jack Hanahan, his 17th ribby.
Lou Marson 0 for 3 steps in. Jordan Smith lets it fly, and Marson looks down and in. 2 balls, no strikes. Jack Hanahan taking his lead at second base. 2-1 pitch. Up high. Three-one. Ball four. 3 straight have reached for the Indians with 1 out here in the 7th. Elsewhere in the Central Division, Kansas City getting beat up by St. Louis 7-1. They're in the 5th inning in KC. White Sox shutting out the Dodgers 5-0. They're in the 4th inning in Chicago. Tigers still lead Pittsburgh 2-0. They're in the 7th inning in the Steel City. Ryan Price out to talk with Jordan Smith. 2 on, 1 out, and Michael Brantley will be the batter. 2 for 3 today. 2 singles, 2 runs scored, and a run batted in.
Well, we've seen it a number of times, and it happens a lot throughout baseball. When your starter can only give you a couple innings, 2 2/3, like Volquez did today for Cincinnati, it's a long day to ask that bullpen to throw zeros on there and let you try and come back into it, because eventually you continue to add on in the ball game. The Indians have done that very well today, adding on in the 2nd, 3rd, 6th, and 7th after a big 4-run first.
Well, that to me, not only is it important, but it also illustrates a huge difference between the team now from a year ago. A year ago, even if they had a big inning early in the game, they would be hard-pressed to add to that lead later on. But this year, different team, different story all the way around.
It's because everybody's been a part of it. It's not one guy. It's everybody joining the party.
One pitch to Brantley. Fouled into the photo bay. That sent him scattering.
You know, you would expect their numbers to be down a little bit when you have Sizemore. You have Hafner on the DL, a couple of their veterans that have really started off well this year. But it's nice to see these young guys have a game like this. You know, they're winning the low-scoring games, the 2-1 game yesterday, but now this is a good game to have before the Boston Red Sox come to town for 3.
Brantley with a base hit down the right field line. Jack Hanahan come on home. In the 3rd, Lou Marson. Michael Brantley with his 3rd hit of the day. An RBI double makes it 10-4 Cleveland.
Boy, Michael just keeps right on rolling. Good afternoon for him. His 3rd hit, his 2nd RBI. He's rolling it over for a guy that's had a great afternoon. And this one inside the line. A little ball down and in. A little breaking ball it was. Boy, and Cabrera with a chance now to have a great afternoon.
Well, we're talking about a career day potentially for Cabrera. He's equaled his career high in hits with 4. He's 1 shy of his career high in RBI with 4. Cabrera staring out at Jordan Smith and home plate umpire James Hoy in Cabrera's ear.
Well, they're just saying, you know, it was inside. You see, he looks in there. It's no big deal. I mean, as Dribble, you can't do that. You have 4 hits today. They got to pitch you inside.
And he takes a strike to even the count. Cabrera had a 5 RBI game back in April of 2009 in New York when he hit a grand slam. The 1-1 pitch. Inside again. Same place as the first one.
All right. You have to pitch him inside. I mean, this guy, they have first base open. Not that they want to walk him, but the guy's had a tremendous afternoon. And, you know, he's looking to add on to it.
Jordan Smith comes set, the 2-1 pitch. And it's fouled away. Even up at 2-2 with Lou Marson at 3rd and Michael Brantley at 2nd. Jordan Smith struck out Orlando Cabrera to start the inning. And then 4 straight Indians have reached since. Fouled off the facing of the Reds dugout. This next pitch will already be the 20th of the inning for Jordan Smith. Maniacta's Indians lead by 6, looking for more with runners at second and third and 1 out. The 2-2. Right back to the screen. Ten runs on 11 hits for the Indians. And the 2-2. Golf toward right field. Bruce on the run. Can't get there.
Oh, boy.
It's a career day for Asdrubal Cabrera. His 5-hit performance equals his career high with 5 runs batted in.
Well, how was that at bat? After the first pitch is inside. I mean, he battled with 2 strikes, fouled off a couple of very tough pitches, and this was not a bad pitch. This looked like the curveball down and in that he just drops the barrel head on it and gets it to right field. What an afternoon. Look at that, the curveball. Just breaks out his wedge and just hits it into right field. Unbelievable. What a great afternoon. Tack on another ribby and another base hit. 5 hits, career high tying 5 ribbies.
His 5 hits have jumped his batting average 20 points today. He's up over the 300 mark now as Shin-Soo Choo steps in.
You know, that's an afternoon you won't forget offensively. And then he's been playing so well defensively. You look on the other side, he's made 2 errors today, so go figure.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, no matter how good he was, I bet you go talk to him after the game, he'll say, yeah, but I booted 2 balls. You know, and he takes a lot of pride in that defense. But boy, oh boy, he is locking in offensively.
Choo with a high fly ball, left field, back goes Heisey. Onto the track, pulls it down, tagging at third, coming home, Michael Brantley. How about that? A 4-run 7th inning for the Indians. And they now lead it 12-4. Choo with his 2nd RBI on the day, 22 on the year.
That's the fun thing about this offense when they get it rolling. Everybody has a little input into this thing, and it is fun to watch.
Carlos Santana with a big swing, pops it up on the infield. And the shortstop Janisch has it. Indians send 8 men to the plate, score 4 more. And we go to the 8th, 12-4 Tribe.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Eighth inning in Cleveland. Ice cream time now. Tribe in control, 12-4. To the victors go the spoils, as they say, and Rafael Perez coming on for the 18th time this year. Indians have already won the series, looking for the sweep here this afternoon. Rafi will face Joey Votto, Brandon Phillips, and Jay Bruce.
Rafi needs a little work. He hasn't been out there in 5 days.
Ezekiel Carrera coming into the ballgame now to take over in center field. Looked like a good pitch, called a ball. 1-1 the count on Votto, who homered in the first, doubled and scored, drove in a run in the sixth. So 2 ribbies on the day for Joey Votto. Gave him 28 on the year. One and two the count. Right up the middle as Dribble Cabrera with the shift on. One down. We go back to the studios for an in-game update. Here's Al Pawlowski.
All right, Matt, the rubber match in the Subway Series, Mets and Yankees. Mets were up 3-1 heading into the 7th. Yankees go ahead on this hit by A-Rod. Classify this as when things are going your way. Yankees put up 8 runs in the 7th. They're still batting, and now they lead the Mets 9-3. Back to you, Matt.
Yeah, Al, how about that?
Thanks, bro.
The Mets had 11 hits, and they have scored 3 runs. The Yankees have 12 hits, and now have 9. A frustrating day for the Mets, to say the least.
Well, the Yankees, you got to ask how many home runs. They score a lot of their runs via the home run.
Bouncing ball to third, backhanded by Jack Hanahan. And a good throw to get him, 2 down. Log on to STOHD.com. Click on the Garfield 12323 banner. They've served Northeast Ohio for 75 years. You can get a free estimate. Click on the Garfield 12323 banner. Two down for Jay Bruce. 1 for 3 with a homer back in the 4th. And a ball outside. By the way, the 5-hit performance by Asdrubal Cabrera, not only is it a career high for him, but the last time the Indians had a 5-hit game, August of 2008, when Johnny Peralta turned the trick at Tampa Bay on August the 6th. Hopped him up right behind the plate. Is it playable, though? No. Into the seats it goes.
Yeah, for a fan it was.
Nice grab.
It was playable for a fan, and he does. He scoops it.
Swung on and missed. Tommy Bowe went back into the record books for this one. The last Indian with 5 hits and 5 RBI in the same game was Victor Martinez, July 16th of 2004.
That's not Tommy. That's Popper. We thought he was going to be taking a nap today, but he's into the books.
A line drive right between the infielders on the shift. And Jay Bruce with his second hit of the day. Going to bring up Scott Rowland.
You know, that was their first single today. Every hit they had to that point was an extra base hit.
We're in the 8th inning. Tribe on top by 8, 12-4. Fouled by Rowland. 2 for 11 in the series for the Reds' veteran third baseman. The 0-1 pitch missed inside. Chopper towards short. As Dribble on the run, flips it over, and the inning is over. We move to the bottom of the 8th. All Tribe today. (12-4) Tribe on top, 8th inning. Tribe coming to bat here. And the Reds go back to their bullpen. Fourth Reds pitcher to work today is right-hander Francisco Cordero. The closer needs some work, but when you've lost 5 in a row, or at least I should say you're headed toward your 5th straight loss, you don't get a lot of work for your closer.
Well, no, and that's one guy you have to keep sharp.
Defensively, changes on the infield. Paul Janisch goes from short over to third. Edgar Renteria coming off the bench to go in at short. Miguel Cairo at first. Travis Buck 0 for 3, but he walked, stole a base, and scored in the first. More importantly, he started a chain of events that led to that 4-run first inning. And I guess if Manny Acta has had a thumbprint on the first 40-plus games of the season, Rick, it's that he's not willing to just sit back and wait for things to happen. He's putting his players in position and forcing the issue.
Well,
I mean, make the defense react.
And I think Manny realizes that's how this team has to play. They cannot sit back and try and go toe-to-toe offensively with anybody. You have to be aggressive. And we're talking bunts, squeeze plays, a little bit of everything.
Double steal today, or the stop and steal, whatever you want to call it. It worked. The Indians box score in game brought to you by Hyundai, introducing the Hyundai Assurance Trade-in Value Guarantee.
How about 10 hits in the first 3 hitters? Huh? That's a little top heavy right there. Great afternoon for Cabrera.
Yeah, when
as Drupal.
When the middle part of your order goes 0 for 13. Orlando Cabrera. Renteria tried to throw out his fellow countryman, couldn't do it. And Orlando snaps that middle of the order over with a base hit. The bottom third of the order, though, has combined for 5 runs scored. Austin Kearns, Jack Hanahan, Lou Marson. So the only Indians hitter who has not reached safely today is Carlos Santana. So here again, another example of everybody pitching in. Of course, the big dog is Drupal Cabrera. I mean, he had the monster day.
This is one guy that it would be nice to see him start swinging the bat a little bit, and he has been recently, is Austin Kearns. He has 1 hit today, but he walked in the first, started the third hit by pitch, came and scored. But that triple in his last at bat, I really like, going to right center field and hitting the ball a long way. Judge Judy up, getting loose.
In for a strike. High pop. Shallow center. Stubbs comes in. 2 down. Stay tuned after the ballgame for the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care postgame show here on STO. Conrad's, home of the lowest everyday tire price guarantee. And unless you've been glued to your set all day long, there's a chance you might have missed 1 or 2 of these runs. And we're going to go back and show you the big knocks of this game, and there have been several. Jack Hanahan with a runner at first. RBI double in the 7th for Hanahan. As Drupal Cabrera with Brantley and Chu, those 3, what a day. 6 runs scored between them. As Drupal, a career-high 5 hits and a career-high tying 5 RBI. Hanahan looks at the ball. It's 2-0. Great crowds all weekend long. Just shy of 100,000 fans for the 3-game series. Drew 99,086. With today's crowd of 26,833, many of which have already headed for the exits, feeling that this one is well in hand. And also taking advantage of this outstanding weather we've had here this weekend. 2-1 chopper to second. Brandon Phillips makes the tag. I think he made the tag. I don't know if that counts or not.
That's
but
that's
the inning is over. Now the kids are itching. They're ready to run the bases. The Indians have tattooed Cincinnati here today, leading it 12-4 in the ninth inning. And on now for the Indians is right-handed pitcher Josh Judy. This is what he's done so far this year at AAA Columbus in 16 appearances. 2-1 record, .467 earned run average. Josh Judy, just the latest Cleveland Indian to make his major league debut.
Yeah, and I don't care what the score of the game is or what the situation, you'll never forget it. You get an opportunity to make your debut, you remember it forever.
Josh Judy was a 34th round pick back in 2007. Native of Morgantown, West Virginia. But the hometown Mountaineers, they didn't ink him for baseball. He went to Indiana Tech, played 3 years, was an NAIA honorable mention All-American. Outside. Last year at AAA Columbus, he pitched in 38 games and had an ERA of just .268. Popped up, back out of play. Inside almost hit him, and it's 3-1. And if you missed it earlier, Judy got the call up when the Indians officially put Alex White on the disabled list. Fouled back. White will be down from anywhere 8 to 12 weeks.
Yeah, that's the bad news.
The long finger in his pitching hand. Strain of the ligament, so hopefully he'll come back from this and be just fine. The 3-2. Swung on and missed. Judy comes back to strike him out. One down.
Well, he comes back and gets his first major league strikeout. That was a pretty good fastball running away at 95. Down in the count, 3-1. He goes to 3-2 and gets him on the strikeout.
Ramon Hernandez 0 for 3 today. Breaking ball and a good one in for a strike. So many relief pitchers nowadays, you know, it's fastball slider or maybe fastball changeup. That looked like a pretty good slow hook. I mean, you can go from 95 to 80, 81.
I didn't get a lot of chance to see him in spring training. But he does. There's the slider.
Yeah.
And he's got the good fastball.
I think that previous one might have been more of a slurvy pitch, just a little more.
There it is. There's a nice little breaking ball right there, outside edge.
That one was definitely tighter. And the 1-2, a little bit low. The right-hander ready in the 2-2 pitch. Fastball right back to the screen. And the 2-2 is poked into center field just beyond Asdrubal Cabrera. And a one-out single brings up Paul Janisch. Josh Judy delivers. And Janisch takes outside. Ball 1. Janisch twice has flied out, once has grounded out. The 1-0 pitch. Right back to the screen. The 1-1. Good breaking ball, just missed. 2 balls and a strike. Now the set and the 2-1. Slap back out of play. Josh Judy in his major league debut struck out Fred Lewis. And then Ramon Hernandez just floated a single right back up the middle. Now the 2-2 pitch to Paul Janisch. Hit in the air, center field. Ezekiel Carrero with a great diving catch. Flying through the air to take a hit away from Paul Janisch. 2 down here in the 9th. Well, not only does the kid have wheels, but he has no fear as well.
Boy, he goes running across with a good jump, and he gets it, makes a nice play. And so those who are still here are on their feet.
Drew Stubbs 0 for 4 today, 1 for 12 in the series. Takes a strike. Judy deals. Stubbs in the gap in right center field. It drops. It goes to the wall. Hernandez into third. Stubbs into second with a 2-out double. And that brings up Chris Heisey, 1 for 4. He doubled and scored in the 6th inning. Tribe fans have their brooms. Josh Judy tried to finish off the sweep with 2 down. Chris Heisey at the plate hits a high fly ball left field. Kearns backpedaling. He's got it. And the Indians sweep the Cincinnati Reds 12-4, the final score here today. Sixth 3-game series sweep of the year. They had 4 all of last year.
Boy, and the home dominance continues.
Now remember, Rick, the Reds had won 7 straight series here in Cleveland in this Ohio showdown, but the Tribe turning the tables on them this year. Everybody had a hand in it again here today, but nobody bigger than that man right there is Drupal Cabrera. Let's look at our play of the game brought to you by KeyBank. Thanks for making KeyBank #1 bank in Northeast Ohio.
Hard to look at one play when you're talking about Cabrera today, because it started all with a first-inning home run, a 2-run homer that gave the Indians a lead, never to look back. And he just continued to swing the bat the rest of the day. Everything he hit was on the nose. As Drupal Cabrera, career-high 5 hits. He tied with 5 RBIs in his second home run game of his career. As Drupal Cabrera is going to be our KeyBank key play of the game, and without a doubt, he was awesome today.
Gorgeous weekend in downtown Cleveland. Big crowds all weekend long, and the Tribe fans celebrate the sweep. We're back with the Conrad's postgame show straight ahead.